Hello all. This is another assignment in Unity Fundamental Self-Assessment Round 1. These are the three questions need to be answered in assignment number 4. I will explain one by one. What is the essential setup for Unity for detecting collision between two bodies? The two bodies is nothing but two objects. The two game objects should have collider component. Each should have collider component separately, and one should have rigid body component to detect physically the properties to attain the physical properties of detection and collision. And the third thing is they should have disabled trigger in the collider component. So we must uncheck the collider, otherwise they won't collide physically. One object will pass through the another object if we enable the trigger. So to detect the collision, we should disable the trigger. And to detect this collision in the programming in the code, we have three methods to detect the collision: uncollision enter, uncollision stay, and uncollision exit. Collision enter will invoke the method when two objects collide immediately, and then method will be executed. On collision stay, as long as they collide together, then this execution will be processed. When collision exit, then when two objects separate from collision, then collision exit method will be executed. These are the essential setup for collision detecting between two objects. The next thing is these are the definition. What I said, it is a descriptive sum. Okay. What is the difference between trigger and collider? Collider is a component. Trigger is another method of collision detection. Trigger is a option in the collider component. Collider to detect collisions between two objects. When we have physical component like rigid body in and trigger is disabled, they will collide physically. Like one will collide with another. One object will stop through the another object. They won't pass through in collision. Uh, the collider we can use collider component to detect collision as well as the trigger between the two objects. Trigger is the method of the collision when one object collides with another and it will pass through it. When trigger is enabled, it allows to pass through one object will allow to another object to pass through it. So, for example, um, if we collide with platform, player will collide with platform. As long as player is on platform, he won't fall down from through the platform. He will stay on the above the platform. If it is a level completion, when a player reaches the level completion point, it will trigger that level is completed. This is a trigger. Player can go through the level completion point, but player can't pass through the platform or whatever the base. This is a collision. Collision will deal with the physical properties of the components, and trigger will just allow the just detect the collision and allows the object to pass through it. This is the major difference between collider and trigger. If you're not allowed to use colliders, triggers, Unity, Physics, Raycast, then how will you detect two bodies of passed through each other? We have to detect the two bodies of passed through each other. We can detect this by body's position, that object position. The objects are in a direction, then they are passing through one in the same opposite direction or in the same direction, whatever the direction, depending upon their speed and velocity. Uh, by if they are facing to opposite side, like one is coming to another side, they are facing same side, like they are coming one towards another, then we can calculate the distance and position between the position of the objects regularly in regular time intervals. So when if a for example x is x object or a player object is player one object is at a at 5 position and player 2 object is 10 position, and then they are passing towards one each other. If it is a player, the equal middle point is 7.5. If they travel more than 2.5 distance, like if they have passed through one each other. We can collide like that. We can if there is a speeds are same, they speeds and velocity are same. They can meet at the middle point, or they can meet at any other point. When the distance, when we calculate the distance and at regular intervals and position of the objects, we can detect the whether they are passed to each other or by calculating the distance between them, like how much distance they travel in that direction. Yeah, am I clear? I would like to explain again. If they are passing through one direction, the two objects passing through one direction. When we are while calculating the distance, we can uh, detect that whether the objects are pass through each other or not by calculating the distance in the regular time intervals. That's it. Simple. Thank you. Distance based check. We have to check distance between the distance traveled by the objects, each object. Your initial position of the two bodies contains reminder position of the body at regular intervals, every frame or every time interval. Calculate the distance between the current position and initial position, then of the body. The distance exceeds threshold value with a specific time frame. You can conclude that the bodies have passed by each other. That's it. Simple. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Hope I am clear on my answers.